9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. Today on the show, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about an epic Raw. Bray Wyatt gets a documentary instead of a Hall of Fame induction. Tony Khan doesn't know who to be madder at, himself or Jungle Jackoff. And is Dynamite actually going to be good for once on this coming Wednesday night? All that and more. And to join me today, the rest of the Tuesday Night Titans. I hope that's not copyrighted. We've got Tricky Ricky Walker, and we've got English not wanting to work today. The new USW Tag Team Champion. We've got Austin down here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get started on what's going on, Austin. And you know what? We are missing someone today. We are missing the sickest man, both mentally and physically right now, unfortunately. And that is our fearless leader, Jason. But unfortunately, he will be back next week. He ain't feeling too good today. But, I mean, he never really feels too good. But we'll see how this goes. He'll hopefully be back with us again on either Thursday or Friday, depending on what we decide to do. But Austin, let's get into it, man. What do we got to talk about today?
So to start off, I think we need to kick off with the fact that before we talk about anything wrestling related, let's talk about the fact that we have 431 subscribers currently on YouTube.
What?
And we're making a good push towards 500. I mean, we had a good little surge. Last week we had 405, and now we're up to 431. Got a nice little uptick here. I like it. I like it.
Us out. He's looking forward to that stink face from Scotty.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, yes, get out there, like, subscribe, ring the bell, share us.
Yes, sir.
Give us to everybody. Spread us like the fucking flu that hit Jason. The Hardy flu.
The Hardy flu. Hey, man, be careful. Everybody. There's probably 15 of them in the Facebook chat right now, so be careful.
I was a little scared at ATCW the other night. I was like, shit, which one am I sitting next to?
Hey, man, be careful. You might catch the four-toed super kick or something. Be careful.
Hey, I told him he would get the biggest pop if he would have went in the ring during the main event and super kicked Brandon.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Oh, my gosh.
Should have given him a cash reward for doing it.
Super exciting news that we got 430 subscribers, but let's go ahead and move on to Monday Night Raw. Ricky, what did you think about it?
It was pretty good, and each episode of Raw and SmackDown that we getting closer to WrestleMania, it's getting me amped up. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to be there. They started off with the Jay and Jimmy segment, trying to build that up some more. Jimmy basically taking the credit for Jay's single run right now. They even Michael Cole even mentioned the Hardys on there as well for this being the third brother versus brother.
What's even funnier is the fact that Matt was there last night.
He was.
Really?
Matt was there up in a suite with Ruby. So that goes back to the whole
contract.
thing.
His contract is about to run out as well.
Oh,
and surprise, surprise! There's a ladder match at WrestleMania.
Exactly. I would love it if they don't announce the sixth team and they're the sixth team in there, even if they don't win it.
So let's see here. It was Owen Hart and Bret Hart versus each other at WrestleMania 10, correct? And then it was
Matt and Jeff
Hardys at 25, and then now we got Jimmy and Jay at 40. But if they don't announce the sixth team, let's just go ahead and just wrap it up that the Hardy Boys are already on their way back. Let's just go ahead.
But here's the question. All right, if they don't announce the sixth team, and we're going to assume it's the Hardys, can Jeff and Matt take any more damage to their bodies, especially after what Sammy Guevara did to both of them? Like, I don't see how they would want to go through another ladder match, just considering that, Matt has no more brain cells left just because of that
And
concussion.
he can't walk.
Yeah, and
Like,
and
his
Jeff
whole
is
right side is stiff.
yeah, like I don't
For
know.
me, if they come back and like they actually do this ladder match or whatever, we need them to go. We need Triple H just to go do the whole fucking deletion thing, like legit this time.
Yes.
Like, we need you to do the full broken Matt Hardy, like, especially now that their relationship with TNA is a little bit better, like WWE's is.
Yeah,
Maybe they actually get like the rights to the whole Woken thing, so we don't have to do broken or anything like that. They go full fucking for it. They go with
Brother
broken.
Nero.
Yeah, they go broken. They got Brother Nero, Senor Benjamin. Just do the whole 9 yards. Like, give me everything. So,
yeah,
I think it'll be interesting. But
if they would be the Hidden Six team, do you think they win the tag titles?
yes, let's just be real. I think they win one of them. I'm fully on the boat that one team's gonna grab the red ones, one team's gonna grab the blue ones.
Ooh.
I'm fully on the thought that that's what's gonna happen. Like,
And they're gonna split them.
R-Truth's gonna go up and grab the red ones and be like, "Yeah, I got him," and dip.
I could see R-Truth start to throw everybody over the top rope, thinking he's in the Royal Rumble.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Get fired up.
Truth is going to do something epic in this match. Did you see the way he won the match for them to qualify last night?
Yes, that was
fucking
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, so they had to face
Into Sheer.
Yeah, they had to face them, and he takes a mean ass elbow to the face, and then just
staggers and falls right on for the 3 count. It was great.
That was great. I did enjoy that ending. That ending was a blast.
R-Truth is gold.
He really is. Speaking of which, what was it? Before that match, the other day we were talking about the camera cuts and everything. Did you see the singular cut that they did for the lead up to that match?
I think I missed that part.
So right after Sami Zayn's in the ring bitching to Gunther, because they had their contract signing prior to that tag team match, Sami Zayn walks out, and as he's walking out, the camera follows him back through the curtain, back through Gorilla, back to backstage, where you find DIY and Sami Zayn talking, or I'm sorry, DIY and Awesome Truth talking, and then Awesome Truth walks back through Gorilla, back out to the ring. And it's just one single cut. There's no cuts. The cameraman literally follows them. The production's getting so much better.
Interesting. I like that.
Now that Kevin Dickhead's gone, it's became so much better. Plain and simple.
Formerly Bucky Beaver, because he got his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
So
R-Truth has a fear of heights and spiders. Well, he gonna learn today, so he's gonna have to figure it out.
Wasn't scared of heights in that Royal Rumble because he climbed the ladder. He was up there waiting for that briefcase.
Yep.
If the Hardys don't return, I'm telling you, Awesome Truth is winning these tag titles. It'll be a short reign. It'll be a short reign, but they're grabbing these guys while they're hot.
Like I said, I definitely think when he grabs it, he's only going to grab one. I don't see him winning both. I see him 100% grabbing one of the tag belts and being like, "We won. Let's get out of here."
Yeah.
And then Miz is like, "What the fuck?"
But here's the thing. So what do you think they will do with that? One team grabs one team grabs the other, and do they split it or do they have a feud to see, kind of like Shawn Michaels and Razor with the Intercontinental title? Do they have a feud to see who's the?
Nope, they're split at that point. Because now the managers can go, well, your team grabbed the red ones, my team grabbed the blue ones. Let's just call it even. They can walk it out like that. I mean, it'll be a fun comedy bit in the middle of the match with R-Truth grabbing one set and being like, "Let's get out of here. Come on."
Yeah, especially if he does it like the 24/7 and starts running through the crowd.
Yes. That would be funny as shit if he's like, dude, we got to the last time I held a belt, I had to defend this thing 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95. Like he just goes through the whole thing. And
Yeah.
Truth's like, or I'm sorry, Miz is like, Truth, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like
That could be interesting. So what was next on Raw?
so I think we mentioned the Usos. Now we're moving into I believe the next segment was DIY versus Creed Brothers.
Yeah, that was the next qualifying match.
Yeah, and that match was a banger from start to finish. Yes. That match was awesome. Which one is the skinnier one? Which one is for the Creeds? Which one? It's not Brutus. It's Julius.
Yeah.
That man is so impressive. I don't care. Like he had Ciampa in an ankle lock, and then Gargano comes like running at him, and he picks him up into a power bomb. Well, when he picks him up for the power bomb while he still has his ankle lock, Gargano like slipped or misjumped or something and was getting ready to fall on his head, and he like single-handedly scoops him up, drops the ankle lock, gets him up in his power bombs him, turns around, slaps the ankle lock back in. Like it just looked so flawless, and like it looked like it was meant to happen almost. But
yeah, it was pretty solid angle.
Yes, and like I said, that match hands down probably was the best match. Funny enough, I saw it on Twitter earlier, X, and someone mentioned they were like, "This is one of Meltzer's favorite types of match." However, it's on WWE. If it was on AEW, you'd get 4.5 stars. But since it's WWE, what do you think it's gonna get?
And if it was Kenny Omega and the Bucks, it'd have 5.
Yeah, more like 7. If it was the Bucks and Omega, Meltzer would give it 7. Yeah. So, here's a question for both of you. All right, and again, I love DIY and FTR, aka the Revival, had some absolute bangers in the day. But since they've been back, like again, I like Ciampa and Gargano are still phenomenal together, but they're not getting the crowd reaction that they used to get. And I mean, again, I love the Creed brothers too; they're very good. But like, and from what, I didn't see this match, but if you're saying it's good, it was good. But I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, at this point, this especially about Ciampa and Gargano, does anybody actually care about those guys? Like, I don't know. Like, the tag team division has been kind of lackluster. It always has been in WWE. But when you had good teams, you had good teams. But now it's just a mix mash, a hodgepodge. There's not really that many good teams. And, with DIY back, you'd figure, they might actually have a chance to come back to some of their former glory, and they haven't. So what do you guys think about that? Because I love DIY, but are they as relevant now as they were back when they were in NXT? So what do you guys say?
So for me, I think that DIY is hands down, if given the opportunity to, the most talented tag team in the WWE right now. If you give them the opportunity and Triple H says, go out there and just do your thing, they're going to go out there and have probably the best match on the card with whatever tag team. So I think the notion that they're not as exciting, or tag team wrestling in WWE right now is not that exciting. Go and watch this match with the Creed brothers, and you'll 100% see that, like, that notion, I think, is starting to go away, in my opinion. Because I do agree with you at some point. Anytime a tag team was on, I was like, all right, bathroom. Yeah. But now it's like, I feel like it's starting to change now that down in NXT, you're getting more tag team work. It's not just, we're going to throw Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler together. It's actual guys that are taking tag team wrestling seriously. I mean,
DIY had most of their popularity came from their NXT run. They haven't even been together that long on the main roster because of injuries and all that. So I think they're just getting going now, and they're going to pick their popularity back up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely, like I said,
I could see them having a tag title run at some point as well down the road.
Yeah.
I personally think, like I said, my theory of them splitting the tag belts at Mania, I think DIY is getting one and Awesome Truth's grabbing the other. I think that's how that's going to work.
Okay.
Because if you slap the belts on DIY, like it'll be a good pop. This is their first ever WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it would be a good pop. I mean, they get to capture the gold at Mania. I'm really upset though at how they booked this, because I would 100% love to see the Brutus, what is it called? The Brutus bomb, or wherever he calls it, where he like jumps off the top rope. I would love to see one of those off of a 20-foot ladder.
Ooh.
Well, we still got a couple weeks left. Depending on who else is scheduled to get qualified, you always see when they do qualifying matches, they do the last chance thing where they just lump the losing teams into a group to get a shot. So I could see the Creed brothers somehow getting back in this.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I was looking at this, I was like, yo, this tag team tournament's insane. Why do they have DIY and Creed brothers together though? Because
I mean, how many spots are left open? Two,
I believe, yes. Because one is Judgment Day, DIY,
Awesome Truth.
There's
3, and
LWO, or no, not LWO. Phantasma.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So there's one other spot, and then probably the last chance, or the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I mean, who else is left in the tag team division that you can think of? I mean, unless I don't see them putting Alpha Academy in there, because I think Gable's
didn't
gonna
they lose? Didn't they
well,
lose
again last chance?
Oh no! You're right. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
And I think Gable's gonna somehow, I don't know, somehow, some way he may end up in the Intercontinental title match.
Yeah. See, I'm with you, Austin, on that one. Like I would rather see, instead of, Sami Zayn is fine in the IC match, and we'll get to that contract signing here in a sec. But I think they need to give Chad Gable a shot on his own. It doesn't need to be a triple threat match. I don't think it. I think it'd be better Gunther versus Chad Gable single match. Gunther versus Sami Zayn single match. It doesn't do either Sami Zayn or Chad Gable any good to be in a triple threat against Gunther.
Oh yeah, New Day was the other tag team in there. Of course, we got the Encyclopedia of Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm so lost though, because I'm reading this. Apparently, I don't know. So apparently, all the spots are going to be filled prior to the show. The Street Profits are taking on Authors of Pain, and then the OC will battle for a spot against Theory and Grayson Waller.
Gotcha. So
that's kind of interesting to see. I mean, definitely see the Street Profits winning that.
Not me, because I think they're going to do a Philly street fight with Lashley and the Street Profits against AOP and Karrion Kross.
So you think that match ends in like a no contest or something, and then that's how you might be onto something with that. That match ends in like a no contest. They just beat the living hell out of each other, and they're like, "Screw the tag team belts. We want AOP." Like,
yeah, because I would rather watch them 6 in a street fight. I don't want to see just Karrion Kross versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that match would not be good.
Yeah, that's when I'm going to go get food and a few more beers and take a leak.
What? No, I agree. I definitely think that I think you're right though, that it's interesting to see how the rest of this tag team tournament's going to play out.
Sorry, guys. Inside jokes right now.
So after the DIY and Creed match, which by the way we've insinuated towards a DIY one.
Stay quiet over here and fuck you, Scotty. Fuck you. As you were.
So after this match in which
Our
DIY
director and
won,
producer, sick boy.
yeah,
Yeah, we can still hear you there, sick boy.
Sadly enough.
we had Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae.
I gave absolutely no shits about this match.
Yeah.
Which you guys should, truthfully. This whole thing they're doing with Candice LeRae is actually kind of cool. They're slowly turning Candice LeRae into like a serious competitor. And I think they're going to move away from the whole Pixie Fairy thing, and she's going to go to that ass beater that she was in fucking the Indies.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I guess it's not the fact of Candice LeRae. It's more the fact that it's who they're wrestling. Like Chance and Carter. You know, I used to be a big fan of Katana Chance for a while. She's actually, her real name, Casey Catanzaro. She's a American Ninja Warrior. I love the show. So knew
Scotty,
who
do you ever think we'll see you on it?
Yeah, sure. No,
He'll be the landing. He'll be the landing pad.
No, you'll see me in one episode, and I will fail on the first obstacle. That's exact. I have no athletic ability whatsoever. But so I mean, you know, Casey and Carter and stuff like that. They're, you know, good people, but it's just after seeing them for a while and like their matches don't do anything for me. They're, you know, it's just another girls match on the roster. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get, and Indy Hartwell, not a, you know, good wrestler, not a, you know, pretty good talent is at this point, but just why would you, like, at this point on a Raw that's got so many superstars on it, why this match? Like, this match is more a SmackDown or
like I said, they're building something with Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
They're building something with her, so
Owen says he thinks Scotty could hit a good frog splash.
yeah, fucking bullfrog splash. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I would be like, oh god, no, like I wouldn't get any height off a frog splash, man. Like, it would just be, I jump, I just go straight down. Like, there would no way that would work. Oh god, I can't even imagine.
Brothers hitting the Chris Benoit,
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Oh god. But yeah.
Yikes.
So the ending of this match, LeRae kind of just let out like her anger and just beat the shit out of which one was it? Was it Carter? I believe it was Chance. She beat the shit out of Chance, slammed her knee into the ring post, and then submitted her for the win. Which the submission looked disgusting. She like put her in a single leg Boston Crab and leaned back as far as she could, and I thought she legitimately popped her knee out when she did it.
Ooh.
Like she slapped that thing in and leaned back as far as she could. So, like I said, I think that match they're building something with Candice LeRae. I definitely think that it'll be interesting to see where that goes from there.
WrestleMania pre-show.
Probably, but like maybe. Here's the thing with the women's division right now, and like, I know we're kind of going off topic here, but there's the same players over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's never, there's nobody that comes into the picture.
You got to build these women up. I mean, Chance and Carter are former women's tag champs anyway. So you got to keep building them up. I mean, right now, everything's centered basically around Damage Control and SmackDown, and that's where your tag champs are.
Yep, exactly. So I think if you have Candice LeRae come out with this like more intense personality, it's starting to get the people talking. Maybe she gets slotted into the women's picture somehow, women's single picture, I should say. somehow. I would be interested in seeing that happen at some point. Like I said, her go back to how she was on the Indies, where she was just welcoming any and all challengers. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But right after this, Cody came out and responded to The Rock. That promo was funny. Like the fact that he had mentioned Homelander in the promo just makes it so much better. Some of the comments he said, is it going to be Big Dwayne Energy or LDS, Little Dick Syndrome? The fact that he said that on live EG TV had me going. Rock, I don't think you're a heel. I think you're an asshole. Don't think for 2 seconds that this locker room needs you more than you need it. At WrestleMania, I think you're just Roman's side chick.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that one was pretty good.
And then he says, I'm about to go full Homelander and rip your throat out. Get to your point. He was talking to Paul Heyman at this point. So I think this is gonna build. I think this is actually gonna be a really good WrestleMania. Like, Roman and Cody,
they're building it up really well,
especially that match. Like, obviously, like every Mania has its main plot, right? Like, we have the main story, and this is it. I think it's probably the best story they've done in a while.
Yeah,
Rock
and the fact that it's 2 nights, you can do more with it. Hence the tag match on night 1.
Yep.
Main eventing it for the stipulation for the night 2 main event.
And then it creates drama because, there's so many different ways you can go with the stipulation. Something happens between Rock and Roman, where Rock costs Roman that match so that there's no bloodline at ringside. Or something happens where Rock screws over Cody in that match so that, Rock and Roman win, so that there is bloodline at ringside. So then Cody has to fight all the odds just to win the title. I mean, like, there's so many different ways they can go with this that creates drama, that creates tension, that creates, and to the point of, and I'm going to ask you this because, again, as we're getting closer, and you guys have kept saying over and over, especially Ricky, you and Jason have been saying, oh, they're not going to take the belt off Roman. They're going to. Now, what do you think? Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Again, inside jokes.
For those of you that can't see what we're seeing on our screens, we still got Jason's window here, and he's wearing his Roman Reigns mask.
That shit's from Five Below 100%. I already know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know for a fact. I've seen the motherfuckers. I know exactly where that's from. But
what do you guys think? Will Cody actually finish the story this time around like he should?
I don't know. I'm on the fence with it because the way they're building this up, I just don't know which way they're going to go with it.
Yeah,
like they make you feel one night like it's not going to happen. He's not going to finish the story, but then the next, it almost seems like we're waiting for a Rock turn here on his family to help Cody get the title.
Well, I don't think he's going to turn on the family. I think what is going to happen, in my view, is there's going to be some inadvertent thing where, like, whether it's Solo
or that,
yeah, whether it's Solo coming down off the Rock's orders or something happening that creates an issue where Roman gets screwed inadvertently, but it was on Rock's orders that cost him the title, and boom. Then it leads to the family drama, and potentially, they can build this up between now and SummerSlam, and Rock Roman at SummerSlam.
And a Rock Roman match needs no title because with a title, it's just predictable.
Just slap fucking Tribal Combat on it and have it be for the head of the table. Like, it doesn't need a table, or it doesn't need a belt. It needs a table. It doesn't need a belt.
So
I think like you said, I think I'm kind of on the boat with Ricky. It's like, for me, it's kind of a coin flip, but I would not be surprised if it lands on Cody finishing this story. I do think he loses night 1. There's a 0 shot he wins night 1.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And-
if he does finish the story, he's going to have to overcome all of the odds, all of the bloodline. It's just not going to be a one-on-one, nobody at ringside. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And when does Seth's match happen?
Night 2. They're both night 2.
Oh, they're both night 2? Okay. Because
Yeah.
I was going to say, if that happens night 1, so what if, and this is just like me spitballing, just throwing shit at a wall and hope it sticks. They wrestle this match. Seth takes the pin. Seth's incapacitated. Cash in. So they lose the match. Seth takes the pin. Now Seth will get involved in night 2 with Cody and them. Like Cody's about to win. Seth sweeps the rug out from under him. Basically like, you motherfucker, you just cost me my belt. Like you cost me my belt last night. Like I don't know. It's just an idea. I think I would like to see. I definitely think if they lose, Seth's taking the pin. 100%. Like
You could also swing Damian Priest into the equation as well, because remember, he still has the money in the bank.
Exactly.
He could come out and take Seth out of the match entirely, them two fight off, because he's trying to not lose his title. And then Cody's kind of left to rock and Roman, just getting the absolute tar beaten out of him.
Now, here's the thing, though. Let's just say there is a cash in. Let's say Seth's, injured, quote unquote, and there's a cash in. Damian wins the belt. And then, Seth turns on Cody night 2, that kind of thing. Do they now here's where it gets interesting. They put the belt on Damian. Do they take it off of him the very next night and put it on Drew? Or do
Yes.
they
Yes.
Okay. Because that's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting turnaround, that he would win the belt night 1 and lose the belt night 2. Going into that, I think that would, I'd be afraid though that if they did that, that would kill Damian's whole deal. Like he's
That's fine. He's the
No,
worst.
Marvin, Damian has until Money in the Bank this year to cash in,
okay.
which is in April, May.
July.
No, I think it's sooner than that.
Oh, is it? I was gonna say normally it's July. I thought.
Yeah, it's sometime after Mania. He doesn't have to cash it in Mania night. He's
July
still got
6th.
a little bit more time left. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My apologies, good sir.
But one of the things that popped up on Raw, and it's one of the things like, so yeah, going real quick, finishing up that topic. I think if you have Damian as the transitional champion, like sure, he wins night 1, cool, gets the big pop or gets the big booze, whatever. Have him lose to Drew the next night. I don't think it would kill him. Let's just be honest here. He's been one of the worst Money in the Bank holders in a long time. It hasn't been great. Like there hasn't been like how it was with Theory, where he's constantly like trying to cash it in. It happened whenever he first won it. Now it's crickets. Like you kind of forget that he has it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that popped up on Monday Night Raw last night, and it was announced earlier in the day. I don't know. There was an extended trailer that played in the middle of Monday Night Raw. Was for the Bray Wyatt documentary that's coming out. Anyone that knows me, I'm probably one of, if not the biggest Bray Wyatt fan. I'm super excited for this documentary. I cannot wait to see the ins and outs. I'm assuming it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. Just putting it out there. I think that it's going to be very tear jerky.
I read that Undertaker's going to be narrating it, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, Taker's narrating it, and so far in the previews, in the trailers, Bo Dallas is seen, JoJo's in it, John Cena I've seen. There's just a few others that are there in it, and I think that it's going to be a fun. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster, just plain and simple.
I mean, I'm honestly looking forward to this because, again, I the one thing I've always loved about documentaries, even WWE's, who they're not always known for the documentaries as their primary thing, but they've done some good ones in the past. And I think it'll be very interesting to see his life, how he started, how he came up, the whole transition from not just in the ring, but from behind the scenes. Because that's always the one thing I've always loved in life is going behind the scenes and seeing how the clock works, I guess you could say. Like,
Yep.
I will never be able to build or fix anything, but I still like understanding how the system runs and seeing it from behind the scenes and seeing how he rose to where he did from the behind the scenes aspect. I think is going to be great.
Yep.
But here's a question that I wanted to pose to you guys again. With WWE, they've come out with their full list of Hall of Fame inductees. All right. Is this now, again, I guarantee he will go in at some point. But considering that it happened so recently, is this kind of a bit of a kiss off to Bray instead of putting him in the Hall of Fame? Oh, we'll give him a documentary and then next year maybe we'll put him in the Hall of Fame kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I want to see this documentary, and but I just kind of look at it and I'm like, a documentary versus a Hall of Fame. Like the documentary can come out anytime. You literally, the guy just died, and you're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame here. So I don't know. What
Can
do
you
guys
explain to me why you think that he needs to go into the Hall of Fame? Hey, boys.
Hey.
Hey,
God?
God, is that you, God?
You guys are doing a marvelous job, by the way. Why's my chair so fucking low? Hey, you guys are doing a great job. Scotty, there's zero chance that this guy's going to the Hall of Fame this year. There's no reason for to put him in the Hall of Fame. How many championships has this guy? This guy's been around how long? Like, he's not. There are plenty of people to go into the Hall of Fame that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and Bray Wyatt shouldn't be one of them right now. He's not. He hasn't been around long enough to be.
He ain't around at all anymore.
That's true, but if every time someone dies, that we put them in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, depending on their stat, like, again, I'm not saying that Bray had the most epic of careers, but the fact of how he died, versus like when he died when he had the most potential to give. And in my view, his
do you
run.
Do you remember when Bray came back? We never saw him and never saw him and never saw him, right? And they were saying that it was because he was sick. It was because it was a creative differences. I just don't. I'm not taking anything away from Bray Wyatt. Amazing worker, amazing mind when it comes to wrestling and his storytelling, and on another level. Now, I wouldn't even say a level above everyone, a level over here, right? Everyone's here, and Bray was here, right? And sometimes his stuff never really melded. Let's be honest, that Mountain Dew pitch black match was a drizzling shits.
Okay, but you're looking at his most recent stuff. I go back to
That was his last match.
Yeah, I go back to the original Wyatt family stuff. Like, one of the things that hooked me about Bray Wyatt was how he could talk you into believing in him as a character. Like the original Eater of Worlds gimmick, and just how he, like, the singing, he's got the whole world in. Like, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it, because he was captivating. Now, and bad booking, and WWE did a lot of bad booking with him after, when the Firefly Funhouse stuff came out and the Fiend and all that other stuff. That was a lot of bad booking. Whether someone
that was him.
Whether that, again, but that Vince, here's the thing. If it was him, Vince should have nixed it. If it wasn't him, if it was Vince should have been burned at the stake, and got, because the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt had a chance to get over. And I've always said this, and this has been my one big pet peeve with him, with the Bray Wyatt character and where he went. He had a chance to get over. They had a chance to flip him. Like, it was almost as natural as Bret Hart and Austin WrestleMania 13. They had a chance to flip Bray Wyatt and John Cena at one point because the crowd was cheering the crap out of Bray Wyatt and booing the daylights out of John Cena, and they squashed it for whatever reason. Vince, like, whether it was John Cena being the cash cow or whatever it was, whether it was Cena.
John Cena is the one holding the torch at that point. He was
They could have passed
the
the
Hulk
torch to
Hogan.
Bray.
No, there's
Bray
never
was the
there's not a
next thing.
chance.
Bray was always the
Look,
next
man.
thing.
John
He was-
Cena at that time was Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
Yeah,
Bray
and that was
Wyatt.
the problem.
I
that
love
was
Bray
the
Wyatt
frick-
more than anyone, but the zero shot, he's the face of the company.
Absolutely not.
Like, I
Well,
love Bray
yeah.
Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt would have been the next Undertaker. He would have been the next incarnation of the Undertaker.
Now you're talking about two different people now.
Exactly.
That John Cena and Undertaker are two different people. John Cena goes to hospitals. He's an ambassador. Undertaker was none of those.
Okay,
Now, if you wanted to put him in a match with
how do you-
Undertaker,
did Taker make money? Okay, did John Cena make money? Yes, John Cena made a lot of money for that company. But did Taker make them money? He made them boatloads of money. And he was one of the best
Taker,
they ever had.
yeah, and Taker's stuff was all in the ring because to help him protect his character, he wasn't like out
Yeah.
kayfabe. He was
behind the
always
scenes.
kayfabe.
Yeah.
If you
And
wanted to
that's
pass
the-
the torch from Undertaker to Bray, I'm okay with that. But to put him to say Cena should have done it, not a fucking chance. Because it's a different character and a different person in the WWE spotlight.
Yeah, if you're talking face of the company, they have to be out in public, kissing babies, doing the whole night. What Cody's doing right now,
Yes.
when
Yeah.
I think WWE, I think Cody Rhodes, face of the company.
Okay.
And he doesn't even have the belt.
Yeah,
Bray
but
Wyatt, zero
Right
shot.
baby face.
That's the
Zero
thing.
shot baby or Bray Wyatt would have been out there kissing babies and doing all that with the character that
He
he was
had
having.
anxiety. He had anxiety. He didn't want to be around people at all. Like he would lock himself. He's bad anxiety.
Okay, but here's the thing about Bray Wyatt. Look, you just said it, Austin. Cody's the face of the company, but he doesn't have the belt. But the person that has the belt, like they could have ran with Bray Wyatt as a heel champion, and could have been one of the best heel champions. Look at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns isn't out there kissing babies and doing all that stuff. He's part of the bloodline. He's not doing that. Like you can be the face of the company and not be the baby face. There have been heel faces of the company. I mean, heck, look at Ric Flair. Like Ric Flair was the face of the NWA for the longest time, but he was always a heel. So you can do two things at the same time. You can have your Dusty Rhodes and you can have your Ric Flairs. We needed another.
But they're two different people. You don't understand. Undertaker was a character in the ring, but he wasn't the character. He wasn't the guy doing the goodwill stuff on the outside, right? Not as much. Maybe he did, but not as much as John Cena. John Cena was the ambassador for the WWE. He went to different countries to talk about bringing the WWE in. Are you ready to throw a toothpick at me?
Yeah.
He was lining up. John Cena was a completely different. Not only was even when he was out of the ring, when he not semi-retired, but he wasn't wrestling, he was still doing stuff for the WWE. Undertaker's. If you wanted to give Undertaker pass the torch, yes. John Cena, absolutely not. For John Cena to become a heel would have ruined that whole thing.
Yeah.
And watch what happens. Watch what happens with Cody. And I think that's why they're holding off on Cody.
And
Okay.
wasn't there a point where Vince was wanting to turn Cena heel again, or somebody was trying to turn Cena heel, I thought, and then they were like, no, can't do
Oh,
that.
we were going to get that with the Bray stuff, with the NWO and all that. I think we thought we were going to get that, but we didn't.
Speaking of the NWO, and this is going to be my last point on it, Hogan. All right, you keep saying John Cena, face of the company, yada yada yada. There comes a point where you have to switch, because here's the thing. It wouldn't have killed the Cena thing very much because John Cena, being at that point of where he was, going back as a heel, what got him over in the WWE to begin with was being a heel and fans liking him to the point where he became a face. I guarantee you, a year run, maybe even less than that, as a heel, John Cena, he would have been back face in no time because like him coming back out, doing the raps again, telling people what he really thought, like, going out and doing what he did to get over originally, he'd have been back babyface in no time, and people would have started cheering him again. That's the thing. The crowds in the WWE booed the crap out of Cena, and it was time for a change. It's been time for a change for a long time with him. If they had done it, it would have swapped them in a good position, got Bray Wyatt over, and Cena would have been back as a babyface within a year, maybe less. I guarantee. But then we never will know. We never will know because they never. And that's
how would you like to be a child with cancer and you're laying in your bed and Bray Wyatt show up? This motherfucker show up in his Uncle Howdy mask.
Hey man,
he wasn't doing that at that point.
Me personally, I'd have been over the moon.
Yeah,
that's just me personally. But but to kind of go back to your point, like Bray Wyatt was never going to be the face of the company. Plain and simple. Like he can be like one of the most talked about characters, but he would never be the guy. Like he's just not built to be the guy. Granted, unfortunately, he passed away. Kind of honestly, low key, the main reason why I started wrestling, but that's neither here nor there. That comes out April 1st. I'm super excited to see that documentary.
I don't know. The only question I can think of is what were they planning to do with this new Bray Wyatt Fiend character and the Uncle Howdy thing that we didn't already see with the first iteration of the Fiend? I mean, it was probably going to be more WWE booking themselves into the corner if they were going to try and put a belt on this guy and make him look unstoppable.
I don't think they were going to put a belt on him until towards the end when the Fiend, like maybe once the Fiend gets like super like strong per se, and then like the Fiend's like they find out the Fiend's weakness, or they do something where like the Fiend has a weakness and he starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
It was almost like they did it with Kane too. When Kane came in, he was fucking unstoppable, and then he gets the title for one night. And now what the hell do you do with him? Give it right back to Austin.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I don't know. I see it where his character was so unstoppable. He shouldn't even have had a belt to begin with. And then when they had him be unstoppable with the belt and they bring fucking Goldberg in, who's like 60 years old, and smash him, that just pissed me off.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir here with that one, because like I said, probably the biggest Bray Wyatt fan on this planet, and yeah. Oh, so rest in peace, Bray. Documentary comes out once again April 1st.
Definitely looking forward to
see that. Moving right along to the next topic we wanted to cover, which is a completely different brand, AEW. Dynamite this Wednesday is looking mighty spicy, boys.
Except for one match.
Except for one match. But the card, other than that one match, looking mighty spicy. I think this has a chance to actually make me start watching AEW again. And like, I would just watch the pay-per-views just to keep up with what's kind of going on, but this might actually be what makes me sit down and start watching AEW again. We'll hear from Mercedes Moné.
Who cares?
She's
the Bianca Belair to Brian Hardy for me.
I strictly did it because I knew it was going to get a reaction out of you.
She's never done it for me. Like, I don't know. Just watch her matches. They're all right, but just, I don't know. Just never done it for me.
And then we got the Lionheart, Chris Jericho versus FTW champion Hook.
Yeah, this is going to be like watching somebody's fat dad going out and trying to beat up this hood kid out of the back alley.
So that's the two stinkers on the card. After that, it kind of picks up. So we got Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa and Deanna Purrazzo. I always fuck up her last name.
Yeah, you got it right.
You didn't twirl the R's enough.
Purrazzo.
There
Is
you
that
go.
better for you? All right.
And Tony Storm has just been off the charts great with this
That
character.
whole storyline's been great.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Mariah May, at least on the poster, is dressed up like OG.
Well,
Storm.
she's been doing the OG Tony Storm since that pay-per-view.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Okay,
every match,
said,
I think she comes out dressed with the sunglasses and the old red and black gear. It's been great.
Yeah. Like I said, I've kind of been missing it. What is happening here? Why is my... There we go. I was like, what is happening with my computer? So yeah, going back to the card. After that match, then we got the AEW Continental Championship. Sorry, AEW Continental Breakfast Championship. Is that better for you boys?
Yeah.
Al Scotty's
Kingston
thing. I just laughed at it.
Versus Okada. That match is gotta go crazy, right? Like they're gonna let those guys just go out there and beat the living shit out of each other legitimately.
And Kingston's gonna do his fat slaps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I really want to use those slaps in a match at some point just to say I did it. But I know the second I do it, I'm gonna get my ass beat. So I think that they have a shot for that match to actually be really good. Don't see how Okada loses it, like we had mentioned last week, unless some shenanigery happens. And then in the last match for the TNT Championship, an I Quit match, we got Fatherhood Christian Cage versus the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
Do we see Beth Phoenix show up in this?
I hope so.
It's a no DQ match. You're going to have Nick Wayne. You're going to have Kill Switchosaurus and probably Milfosaurus out there, and whoever else, Christian, whatever other moms of dead wrestlers, dads. Did I say that right? Something like that is going to be out there helping him try to win. Do you think we see a return or a debut here?
I hope so. That would be really cool. Sting just recently lost his father, so maybe Sting shows up and helps out Chris Jericho.
Maybe Chris Jericho.
Christian Cage. Sorry, there's too many damn Christians.
Copeland.
Yeah. He's also been he teased this spike thing, and then he showed it off last Wednesday, right? It's like a giant ass 2x4 with 8-inch nails in it. Yeah, that apparently Mick Foley gave him or something.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe Mick shows up.
I hope not. I honestly don't see Mick showing up because Mick has already said he's not wrestling anymore.
Well, didn't he say he wanted to do a death match? I know we're going off topic here, but didn't he say he wanted to do a death match?
He did say not too long ago that he wanted to do one more death match.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah. He said a month ago he wants to do one. So I mean, hey man, show up, go through a flaming table, call it a day,
and land on a bed of nails, go through some real glass.
What?
Some barbed wire.
What?
Yeah. Barbed wire, exploding sparklers from the ring posts.
69 me Dawn. 60. So yeah, that card just from top to bottom looks stacked. I'm actually very interested in watching it. Like I said, I've not been watching AEW as much as the rest of the world, but this is actually going to get me to watch it. I plan on sitting down and watching this tomorrow night.
Now here's a question: how are they going to do this in 2 hours? When Tony, these are all pay-per-view level matches.
He'll get it done.
Yeah. So Chris Jericho and Hook get about 10 minutes with commercials. Mercedes Moné can talk for about 5 minutes. Mariah May and Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa and all them, they have their match in about 12. you give Okada 25, and then you give Copeland and Cage 30 minutes.
Maybe
All
even
picture-
more.
And picture-in-picture is a thing with AEW. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but considering how much they run over, I mean, again, it's usually 7, 8, maybe 10 minutes.
There are those special occasions where they say they will stick to the action even past the hour.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Like, Beth Phoenix, by the way, Beth Phoenix is still listed currently as a WWF ambassador, or WWE ambassador, I should say.
Damn.
who's F?
Yeah, no, sorry. We got
FL.
the a long time ago. Anyways, yeah, no, like, they go past, like, they always go over their scheduled time. So it's like, with all these matches, and again, most of them being pay-per-view level matches, it's like, my gosh, like, they're like, they basically give the women's match like 3 minutes. They give Banks a minute and a half, or Monet, I should say, a minute and a half, and then they give Kingston and Okada at least 45, and Edge and Christian at least 45. Like, it's they're gonna go way over their time this time around. It's gonna be interesting to see.
So is Copeland going over? Is he getting this title?
So I don't think so. I think we're going to get a Rock and Mankind thing, because he made it a point within the promo that he did on Wednesday to say, I quit. Like, he said it super seriously.
Oh, yeah. So
I think we're going to get a situation like that.
The Rumble.
Where it plays over the speaker at the stadium when he doesn't actually say it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought about that.
I think that's what we're going to get. I think we're going to get a situation like that, and then Copeland's going to come back out next Wednesday and be like, I didn't say it. You hit the button. I want a rematch. And
Ladder match.
TLC match is where I was heading.
Interesting.
So, because, I mean, come on. You
Nick
can't
Wayne's
have these...
mom on a pole match.
No, you gotta have Buff. You gotta have Buff Bagwell if that's gonna work, because we already did his mom on a pole.
Nick Wayne's mom on a kill switch match.
and the kill switch only shoots out sparklers. So, Austin, we lost your signal, dude. We lost your sound.
I didn't even know he said anything.
Yeah, I just watched his mouth move and I can't hear him. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, hear you.
Oh, it's because I coughed and I never unmuted my mic. All right, we're good now.
There we go. I was like, what the heck? We've never had that kind of technical issue halfway through the show, or 3/4 of the way through
And
the
Jason's not even on here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, sticking with AEW and the issues that they're having, not even issues really, but Tony Khan and Jack Perry, does anyone really know what's happening with that and want to go over that real quick? Scotty?
Yeah, so
of Scotty.
Yes, give me it real quick. Give me the eyes, Scotty. Let him do his Meltzer thing real quick.
Through the eye of Scott. Should be good, but probably not. Through the eye of Scotty. Now's your chance to go to the party.
I think you're good.
Tony Khan is still angry with Jack Perry over the whole CM Punk thing. All right. And to the point of saying, hold on. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can bring up the tweet really quick, because I know where to find it really quick here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get when yeah, that's right where I need to be. Where is the tweet? Okay. Yeah. So Jack Perry, has not been fired. He's absolutely not been fired, but they are not using him. Essentially, Tony Khan is really mad because Jack Perry cost Tony Khan CM Punk. Jack Perry is getting the blame. He probably should have been suspended for a month or two. Where are we at? 7 months now? 7 months. It's ridiculous. The punishment doesn't fit the crime at this point. And that is a quote per Dave Meltzer. All right.
Oh, Uncle Dave, your best friend, Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave, who's on some kind of saw somewhere. But here's where it gets interesting. This is what cracks me up. All right. And again, I know how you all feel about CM Punk, but you have to admit, out of the guys that they had at that point when they lost Punk, yes, they've got Okada now, they've got Mercedes Moné, they've got Ospreay now, but yeah, at that point, Punk was at that time the biggest star they had. Okay, because I think at that point when they fired him, they hadn't even gotten Edge yet. So here's the thing. This whole thing that went down, and we've hashed it all to death, so I will keep it brief. The whole thing that's gone down, the fight with Jack and CM Punk at Wembley. Why wasn't Jack Perry fired? Okay, whether or not if they fired Punk, okay, big deal. They fired Punk, but the fact that Jack Perry started the whole thing by mouthing off on live television, hey, it's not, it's real glass, what you gonna do about it? Creating all kinds of issues and drama, and then the front face lock, all this kind of stuff. Perry should have been fired as well. All right, if Tony Khan is really this mad at Jack Perry and doesn't want to use him, then why is he still on the freaking payroll? What that, if you don't want to use him, great, get rid of him. I mean, you got a million other people to use anyways. He ain't doing you any good by just sitting on the payroll, getting his freaking paycheck. Just drop his ass like a bad habit and, move on. Find somebody else you can pay that millions of dollars to that you were paying Perry. I mean, I don't understand. If he's really this mad, why isn't he just fired him? Can somebody explain this to me?
Didn't Vince used to do this back in the day when he used to send guys over to Japan when he was either done with them or mad at them?
I have no clue on that one.
Did he? I did you say something like that? It does sound familiar, but was Vince still paying him at that point, or did he just say
doubtful?
I don't think he was paying them. I think he's just said, I'm done with you. Go to Japan. Yada yada. I'll you can come back in a couple of years when I feel like I need you again. Because I mean, that's definitely a Vince thing. He would, he'll get rid of you for a while and then bring you back when he feels like he needs you again. But I don't think Vince would. I'm sure he probably sent guys to Japan, but I don't think he was paying them. This is where Tony Khan is doing. He's paying this guy, even though he's mad at him. And honestly, the other thing is Tony Khan. The only person Tony Khan has to be mad at right now is Tony freaking Khan.
Exactly.
You allowed this whole situation to go on. You created the issue. People were pissed off and fed up backstage one way or the other, whether you're on the Punk side, whether you're on the Buck side, it doesn't matter. People were pissed off backstage. You didn't do anything about it to squash the whole thing before it became a massive incident. So honestly, Tony, the biggest person you need to fire is yourself.
He has egg on his face.
Yeah.
Not only did he lose his biggest draw at the time, now he has had absolutely no use out of the other guy involved in the matter. So what do you got out of the whole thing? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So, I mean, Tony just needs to Tony needs to cut his losses at this point. If he doesn't want Jack Perry, cut his losses and get rid of the guy. And next time something stupid like this pops up, maybe you need to squash it and grow a set of balls and squash this stuff in the backstage area before anybody finds out about it and before it becomes. And Jason just went bye-bye. Hopefully we're still on the air.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Before anybody finds out about it and before it becomes a bigger thing that it doesn't need to be. That's my 2 cents. I'm going to shut up now.
If what Tony should have did in the beginning is if he was going to fire one, he should have just fired both of them, and that right there would have struck some fear in the locker room for having no shenanigans behind the scene, just to put the fear in everybody that you're going to fuck around, you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but Tony, he's got the mind of a wrestling child, and I don't know.
Child,
like
yes.
I said, egg on his face.
Yeah.
Because now he has nothing out of that whole situation.
Yep. I agree.
But I definitely think that storyline could go one of 2 ways. It's like we said, it's either Tony Khan looks like an asshole until this gets all sorted out, or Jack Perry's gonna take this and run with it as the scapegoat. And who knows? Maybe Tony's in on this whole scapegoat thing. Who knows?
Maybe Jack Perry comes back one night when Tony's making his Wednesday Dynamite announcement, and Perry just gives him a stunner right in the middle of the ring.
Oh, jeez. No, the thing
starts cracking spears, bald head.
He comes back and his catchphrase is, huh?
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, Tony, like you said, I think you said it the best. He's got the mind of a wrestling child. Majority of it, and wrestling very teeny tiny bit.
And again, I think the only reason Tony did try and hold on to Jungle Boy at this point was because he was one of his original pillars to the company.
Well, that, and he's also friends with the Bucks, and I think that's another reason why they haven't let him go is, his association with the Bucks and stuff like that. Like, anybody like that, Hangman, Omega, the Bucks, Jack Perry, any of the guys that came in under the Bucks administration, or not administration, but as far as their, what's the term I'm looking for? When you get all your friends hired, what's the term for that? There's a term. Why can't I think?
Making work more fun.
Yeah. No.
I hire all my fucking friends. I'd have a blast.
Yeah. You think that, but then you started having to work with them, like in the sense of like actually doing, having to conduct business with people, and you find out it's not as easy as you think because there's so many different ideas, and if there's no leadership, it leads to this whole attitude of there's the camps, there's the Bucks camp, and then there's like whoever else has got their own little camps back in AEW. There's too much. Like, you need a strong leader that can say, all right, this person is good for, and like to be able to delegate not just the jobs but the like who's a stronger leader for this and who's a stronger leader for, in each individual area. When you just hire people and then they hire their friends, they're just hiring their friends on not the merits of what they can do, but the merits of just they're their friends. And a business doesn't run that way. You can't run a business with just, I'm going to hire my friend just because I feel like hiring my friend. And that's what that's why AEW has experienced a lot of the lows that it has over the years. Because they've got these people who are all close friends with each other, but then that leaves people who weren't close friends with them out in the cold. So then, the dynamic is just off, and a business like that can't last for too long without strong leadership. And sadly enough, they don't have that. So again, sorry, I'm talking out my ass again, but yeah, shut up, Jim.
It's all good. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything for today that we wanted to go over. Ricky, Scotty, as always, it's great to talk to you boys.
Yes, sir.
And before we go, please get out there and like, subscribe, ring the bell, share. Spread us around.
Tell-
Spread
tell-
us like
What-
this crazy measles virus that we got going on in the United States.
Whatever happened to our boys from across the pond? Are they still watching? Why haven't they spread us around? Anybody over there?
spread
What's
us
up with
around
that?
like COVID, man. Let's be contagious on all continents.
That's an out of pocket statement, Scotty. I don't think we can say that. Nah, I'm kidding. Well, that's gonna do it here. Like I said, Ricky, Scotty, appreciate you. Jason, every now and then. Let me see if I can do this right. So Jason normally says that, and then he goes, "We'll catch you next time."
On the hard way.
Peace.